What's going on, all you sexy, messy, flexy, pexy motherfuckers? It's your boy T-Dub, and today I'm here with Maroyasha. Before I go any further, I want him to introduce himself.
What is up, all you beautiful people? It's your boy Aaron, aka Maroyasha.
Alright, and today we're gonna be discussing Black Goku, or Goku Black, or Zamasu, or Zamaz, however you want to fucking say it, as a villain. And I know this arc isn't done, but I feel like with today's episode and the revelation of Zamasu' plans and how Goku Black was created, I feel like we have enough information to discuss this topic. And I'm going to let Aaron go first and get his thoughts out on Zamasu as a villain, and then we'll go ahead.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, we were discussing that Zamasu or Goku
them
Black,
together,
really. Alright, so we were discussing this right before the video, and this is where I was like, why are we not talking about this in the video? Was we were talking about the villains in GT and the villains here in Super. And I brought up the point that the thing with the Black Star Dragon Balls is, despite the fact that some people fucking loathe that arc, it's basically the same exact thing on the basic level as to what's happening now. The heroes are reaping what they sowed. Trunks created Black and Zamasu basically as villains because they did the whole thing with like the timelines and stuff, and that's what caused Zamasu and Black to want to destroy the mortals. And in the Black Star Dragon Balls, they use the Dragon Balls so much that they become villains and fight them, and so they're just like villains of their own making, and I think that's a very good aspect to these villains.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And like what's it called? Another thing we were saying about GT, and I know this is a very unpopular opinion, I'm probably gonna get hate for this, but I honestly feel like Baby is a better villain than Frieza was, and I have my reasons for that. And like, this is gonna tie into Zamasu, I promise you, but like with Baby, he's again a...
Well, wait 1 second. Can we specify? Is he
no,
like
no,
your
no,
favorite
he's
villain
a better
or a better villain?
Because like
we were discussing
my favorite villain.
Yeah, that, I just want to make sure people know
Cell,
that.
But that doesn't make him, you know. Yeah.
I just want people to realize that.
Right,
we're talking about how they're written, not about our opinion
like,
on them.
The way Baby is written, like, he's such a perfect thing to bring into the Dragon Ball timeline, because he's a creation of something that happened to the past, you know? And like Goku, Vegeta, all the Saiyans on Earth are nothing like the Saiyans that destroyed the Tuffle homeworld. However, Baby and his creator, they didn't see it that way. They saw it as all Saiyans,
fucking
right?
Racist.
They saw it as, oh, the Saiyans destroyed my home. That means all Saiyans are like that. So that means that I'm going to destroy all the Saiyans, and that's how it is. And Baby, like, one thing I love about Baby, I've always loved this, like, he uses a Saiyan to not only destroy the Saiyans, but take everything that the Saiyans love away from them. He brain controlled the planet. Well, he destroyed Earth, created his own planet, brainwashed all of the humans, including their family, and tried to get rid of all the Saiyans. Even used their power. He used the power of Super Saiyan and Great Ape against Goku. Now, if that's not freaking epic, I don't know what is.
And that's basically what Black is doing. This Black and Zamasu arc is basically just the two better parts of GT.
They definitely are. Like, it's like a combination of future Trunks being responsible for everything, and I'll get into that later, but future Trunks being responsible for everything, and him basically, like you said, creating Goku Black, and, you know, like, Goku Black is now punishing him for trying to help others. And it's like he's using a mortal, aka Goku.
Yeah, at the same time he's
he's basically like a more fleshed out version of Baby, because it's like he has a more advanced plan. However, at the same time, he's pretty much doing the same thing. He's using a Saiyan, or aka in this part, a mortal, to destroy all other mortals. Right? Yeah, and he's again. But that's the thing, though. The reason I think Black, honestly, and this is going to be another unpopular opinion, the reason I think Black or Zamasu is the best villain that Dragon Ball has ever gotten Right, best written villain that Dragon Ball has ever gotten.
To specify.
Is because not only does he use the good aspects from Baby, but he also uses the sadistic aspects of Frieza and combines them into one person. Yeah. So it's like he's using...
And he's almost like Cell, too, in a way. Because he talks about how, like, a Saiyan's body is perfect. Like, he's like, this is a gift from the... He even says in the new episode, this is a gift from the gods. As I get hit, I become stronger. So he's even got that, like, perfect complex of Cell. He's so
put
many
into
of the villains
one.
just put
And
into one.
And that's the thing, though. I never thought that could work. But like you're absolutely right. He has that. This is the perfect body complex of Cell, the sadistic nature of Frieza, and the motivation. Well, not the motivation, but the tactics of Baby. Like, it's just like he's... Yes, it is. Yeah, no, and he's great. Like, what's it called? Black Goku or Goku Black is the one villain in Dragon Ball that makes you question whether the heroes are actually heroes. Because it's like...
Cut out?
Goku is doing something he was never meant to do. He's never meant to meddle.
You cut out for a second.
Okay, yeah, I was saying that? Like,
sorry.
Goku Black makes the heroes seem like they aren't really heroes, and that's something Dragon Ball doesn't do.
Yeah,
right. Because it's like you really think about it. It's like Goku wants to fight strong people, and that's why he beat up Zamasu. But in that turn, he created Goku Black. Goku also isn't supposed to be meddling with the gods, but he is. Trunks isn't supposed to be time traveling, but he is. He's only trying to help people. But if you really think about it, I'm going to let you explain this because I know you were really going in depth with it. Trunks really messed up everything, dude.
Yeah, well, wait,
like,
what part of it
I feel like this video is whatever, so just talk about everything that comes to your mind on it.
Alright. Well, the whole thing with, like, Trunks messing up is... Because we know the reason he works with the Supreme Kai of Time is because the Supreme Kai of Time was like, you're gonna be my indentured servant, basically, because you fucked everything up. That wasn't really the reason, but that's the reason she said. And it kind of adds more layers to that in knowing that he basically saved his timeline only to fucking kill it. Like, we can even see... The Earth was being completely repopulated. Like, they were rebuilding, they were doing all this shit. They were repopulating, and then Black shows up, and it's back down to, like, fucking 30 people, and that's it. Like, that's even less than they had when the androids were around. And it adds a whole new light and layer to that, and the fact that Trunks really fucks up. And I think that's such a big part of his character, because I want to do this on my channel, but I'll mention it here. I want to do a character analysis of Future Trunks, because if you look at Future Trunks as a character, everything he fights for is his own responsibility. He's the cause of so much destruction. Gohan's death is because of him. Because him jumping in and being reckless. Him going back in time and stuff creates all this other shit. Cell being back in time is because of him as well, because he kills the androids. He literally creates every problem he tries to solve.
And I think that's another thing we can get into here, like, what's it called? Just a little bit, because I do want to discuss this with another guest star. Don't spoil it, who it might be, if he comes, you know.
Hopefully.
But, like...
Hopefully.
Right.
If he doesn't, I guess we'll just make it.
Dragon Ball Super, this arc is really going into, especially with Trunks, is... like you said, Trunks tries to fix every problem, but he creates the problems for himself. And no matter how much he tries to fix it, it always goes to shit. And that's such a great human complex, because it's like everything that we think we do right creates another problem that we just get wrong. And
yeah, and that happens in real life too. It happens all the time.
Go ahead.
What was it? Like, every villain thinks most villains think they're doing right, and every good person thinks they're doing right. Villainy, like evil and justice, are all perspective based, because what Black thinks he is doing is justice.
And that's the thing, though.
And in a sense, it is, because Trunks broke the laws of time. He broke laws that were set in stone. He broke basically the commandments of that universe by going back in time. And in a way, Black is doing that, but he's just taking it a bit far. And we even see that stuff in real life, where justice is just too swift to act.
You see that in history, though. Like, the reason the Romans and the Greeks wouldn't do what they did is because they didn't want to piss off the gods, because they thought if one person pisses off the gods to a point, everybody is gonna die. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Trunks pissed off Zamasu and Zamasu to a point where he's now, like Goku plague. And Trunks, pretty much. They pissed off Zamasu to a point where now he wants to destroy everything. And that's such a great character complex, because it's like, he's really, even though, yes, he is technically a god, he's acting like a real world god that the ancients thought that the gods would work like. And he's bringing that into Dragon Ball.
Exactly, and that's
why I love his character so much.
And we see, the moment we meet Zamasu, we can already see that, like, he has these thoughts about justice. He's almost fit to be a god in the sense of real world for the old ancient civilizations. He would have made a great god for them, but if you look at how the gods are in Dragon Ball, from the get-go, he was always going to be a bad egg.
And that's the thing, though. That's another thing, though. If you look at the gods of Dragon Ball, all of them are entirely too nice. That's not, like, that may be how some religions depict their gods, but in real-world ancient religions...
Well, that's why I like Champa so much. Because Beerus has become soft hanging around Goku and Vegeta and stuff, but Champa's still a fucking dick. And we look at him as a fucking dick because he's, like, bullying Beerus and shit. But no, he's being a god of destruction. He's being rude. He's doing all this stuff. And in a sense, Zamasu has just become the opposite of the type of god he is. Yes. He's become a god of destruction when he was born a god of creation.
And it's like, and that's the thing, though, like, what I was talking about, we got to his character, but let's talk about how sadistic he is for a second. Like, he sit up there and for the past year, he's tormenting the Earth. Like, it's not that he couldn't kill Trunks. Yeah. He could kill Trunks anytime he wanted to. It's not like he couldn't wipe out the entire Earth. He can do that with one blast. But he's sitting here for an entire year, people. He's on one planet destroying it little by little.
Well, you said Zamasu. I want to take a second and look at Black and Zamasu as two separate characters, because I mentioned this outside the video as well. They had two completely different experiences, and we look at, you're saying Zamasu sadistic. Black is the more sadistic one, because look at it like this. Do you remember that episode where they're hanging out in that little cottage off to the side? Black is standing there, like, ready to go, ready to fight, like, he's fucking pissed. He wants to fight someone, and Zamasu's sitting there sipping his tea. And an interesting point to bring up there is, what was revealed in the episode just now is that Zamasu never killed Gowasu. He doesn't have that blood on his hands. That was the turning point. And so, in killing Gowasu, we get Black. In not killing Gowasu, we get Zamasu. And it's completely different for the both of them, because up to that point, Zamasu hasn't really killed another person on his level.
That's like...
So in that way, we create two separate characters.
I understand what you're saying it perfectly now. Because it's like, that's like the difference in real world between someone having thoughts of killing people and someone actually going out there and doing it. The one that actually goes out there and does it.
Yeah, like I could never understand what a person who went to war felt, because I've never killed a man. Like, I will never understand that.
Like, as much as I could think of going to war, I've never done it. Like, I've never been there, you know? Right.
Exactly.
I understand what you're saying. And yeah, like, Black is definitely more sadistic. Like,
they're written differently.
Like, the future Zamasu is nothing like Black. Like, almost nothing.
Like, even in this episode, you see he barely fights.
He helps
just
Black
out. Stands there.
Like, that's literally what he does during the entire fight. He helps out Black.
He doesn't really do much else. Like, when Vegeta goes to jump in to help Trunks, Zamasu just kind of like, no, you're not. Like, he is the one that keeps everyone in line, while Black is the one. Black is the muscle, Zamasu is the brains. It's almost like a Nappa Vegeta sort of thing.
And it's like Black goes around, and this is one thing I really wanted to point out, especially in the manga. I think they mention it somewhat in this episode, but in the manga, it's like they flat out state that Black has been going around killing all of the Kais in order to kill all of the... So that's the thing, though. Not only is he... Right,
so there's no one to oppose him.
It's such a great character moment, because you sit down and think about it. It's like Zamasu is all for the gods being the supreme beings, but in order to destroy all the mortals, he has to destroy those supreme beings to make sure that he can destroy all the mortals.
Yeah. And Zamasu never crossed that line, so he doesn't look at it the same way as Black.
You have to understand, how pissed did that guy have to be to where he came to that decision to where it's like, I want to kill all of these mortals so bad that I will backstab my own kind in the back in order to do it. Like, it's crazy. Definitely crazy.
Yeah, so it's just interesting to look at them as two separate characters is basically what I'm just trying to say.
It's just, I mean, I think I made my point. I just think that, you know.
Yeah. I mean, we could also look at it like this. You were wondering, like, what caused Black to do this. We could look at it like this. Maybe Black went seeking another Zamasu, and he looked in our timeline because he's been there, and he saw Zamasu gets killed by Beerus. And maybe that was his turning point. I don't want to make this into a theory video, but I'm just saying, like, it could be a ton of reasons, and that could be one of them.
Like, there's so many ways you can take this, but...
Exactly. And it relates so much to real life, and that's why it makes it almost so much better. Because all of Dragon Ball was originally just a gag manga. That's it. Toriyama wrote gag manga, and that's what Dragon Ball started as, and it had that adventure sense to it, and it had its real-world themes. Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z have always had their real-world themes, but they've never been so upfront
and that's what I'm saying. I cannot believe that Toriyama's taken it to the edge before.
Well, Toriyama's working with other people. Let's
but at the same time, though, he did have to write this in, though. Like, he did write the outline, so...
Oh, you know, he definitely wrote he wrote the outline and stuff, but he's definitely working with Toyotaro on
but at the same time, though, the manga is pretty much going in the same direction, though, so...
The manga is going in the same direction, but at the same time, it is very different.
I just feel like, I just cannot believe that Toei and Toriyama, like, Dragon Ball, like you said, Dragon Ball would start off as a comedy manga. I just cannot believe that Dragon Ball's gotten to the point where, like, Toriyama has taken it to the edge so many times, but now, like, Toriyama and Toei have just taken it into the deep end and just going into so many real-world things. And it's just, it makes the characters feel so much more realistic.
It does. It makes them way more real. I mean, and the characters in some senses already felt real compared to Goku. But these could just feel even more real. And I made a theory video a while back, and I sometimes make theories. I usually don't make one based on current stuff, but I made one then because we were all theorizing, oh, what's Goku Black? And I thought, oh, it's probably someone who took the appearance of Goku because he knew it would be something that Trunks wouldn't be willing to fight. That was my theory, is that it would cause Trunks not to fight back. Well, it's caused Trunks to fight back, but we see at first that, like, these people despise Goku now in the future. They're scared of him when he shows up, despite the fact that he is not Goku Black. He's giving Goku a bad name in a sense.
And that's such a turnaround because at the end of GT, we see everybody praising Goku, like, as the hero. And then we get this different perspective. Well, what if somebody twisted Goku's name? And that's the thing, though. You see, like, when people are ignorant to something, like, because the people on Earth are ignorant to what Goku has done in the past. So it's like, when people are ignorant to something, they look at the most current event and will twist your name to match that event.
Yeah. And what is it? And also like this, Toriyama has said in the past, and this is why I don't really like Sean Schemmel the most as a voice actor for him, is that Goku is a selfish character. Goku is a selfish character. That's just it. He fights stronger people regardless of what other people think. He throws Gohan in there not thinking of anything else but himself. He's just like, oh, my son's the strongest. Let's go for it. Like, he is a selfish character. And what I find interesting is that we're talking about how, like, Goku's name is twisted around and stuff by Goku Black. If you look at it in some sort of sense, Goku is kind of a villain in some ways. He even says it. He causes all these villains to show up to Earth. And if you look in the Majin Buu saga, he decides he'll fight Vegeta. So he helps Buu come to be. Like, we all always talk about how it's the same as Turles. Goku Black is just another evil Goku. No, this is very different from that. There is some comparisons because they look the same, and one's like, what would happen if this happened? But it's just, they're two completely separate things now. You can't even compare the two beyond looks.
And that's the thing, though. Everybody looks, and this is what it's such a great character dynamic comes in. everybody looks at early Dragon Ball Z Vegeta as the evil one, but how is what Goku doing any different from what Vegeta did? The only thing different about Goku is he isn't killing anyone, but he's doing the exact same thing in pretty much the exact same way.
And that adds a whole other dynamic to people like ruining Goku's name. Is that in the fact that everyone praises him because he helped save the Earth, but in reality, he didn't get most of the villain kills.
I think he only really killed one villain.
And I think he only got Kid Buu.
King Piccolo. Those are the only two canon ones he got.
And King Piccolo, yes. King Piccolo and Kid Buu with the help from others. He never really kills a... Well, he killed a lot of people in Dragon Ball. Let's be real. He killed a shit ton of people in Dragon Ball. But even Yajirobe got kills in Dragon Ball. So... But when it comes to Z, and that's what most people see, like, in another chat, I'm talking with people, and they're like, yeah, I'm watching Z so I can play this universe story and understand it. And I'm like, well, you should watch Dragon Ball first. And they go, oh, no, I'm going to watch it afterwards. So most people look at Z as Dragon Ball, sadly, and Goku doesn't get most of the kills, and he comes across more as a villain there, in a sense that you don't look at him as a villain, but from a certain perspective, he kind of is. And Toriyama even says that. He's selfish, and selfish is usually something we equate to a villain.
And
we never really see Goku give up his selfishness, but we see Vegeta give up his selfishness when he sacrifices himself. And they completely got rid of that for Super, which really pisses me off.
I mean, the only time Goku did give up his selfishness once, when he killed, when he teleported for Cell. But at the same time, he really had no other choice. Vegeta didn't really have to sacrifice himself. He felt he had to as a person, but in terms of...
It was his, as the title said, atonement.
Actually needing to do that, he did not need to.
So we've had these moments with characters before where we see different perspectives of them, and it's not necessarily caused by someone else, but it's caused by their actions, so we look at them differently. And then here we see Black twisting Goku's name, but in a sense, it's the ignorance thing. You bring up the ignorance, people in the future might see Goku as a hero because Trunks tells them the story of Goku and how he sees it. So they're ignorant to the fact that Goku did some selfish stuff. That's just how it is.
But yeah, man, this video has been going on for 22 minutes, and yes, and I don't really mind that, to be honest. Like, I like when we just get to sit down and speak our mind.
It is a long discussion.
I definitely like it when we get to sit down and speak our minds.
Yeah.
You know.
I was going to say one more thing about Zamasu, in the fact that he doesn't really kill as much. He takes the damage. He doesn't really deal it. We even see that. You see in that fight scene, which I will fucking send back, like, Bandai emails and tweets saying make a 6v1 versus Black. I will keep saying that till it comes out. But in that scene, he's beating everyone up, and then they corner Goku, and Zamasu's just there as a distraction. Because of Zamasu's immortality, he is an asset to Black, and Black, as I kept yelling while we were watching the episode, he die-harded him. Have you ever seen the movie Die Hard? Or one of the Die Hards? Where he yells like Yippee-ki-yay motherfucker and shoots himself through the shoulder?
Yeah.
Into the guy behind him? That's what they do. They use themselves as a distraction to kill the guy they're trying to go against. And I thought that was it was an interesting dynamic in the fact that Zamasu, as far as we can tell, hasn't killed anyone, the Zamasu we're looking at. Black is the one that's killed everyone.
Definitely.
Like, he helps Black, but he hasn't yet crossed that line. And Zamasu could have easily killed Goku right there. Right then and there, he could have easily just fucking taken his key sword and shoved it right through Goku. But he doesn't. He lets Black try and go for the kill instead.
Right.
And
so
it
he
backfires.
has blood on his conscience, but not on his hands. Definitely.
Yes. He doesn't do anything. It's just there. The thoughts are there.
Like, he can justify his actions as, oh, technically, I've never killed anyone. You know?
It was the other version of me who did kill someone. Because, like I said before, the Zamasu we see never killed Gowasu. Black did it. He's like, you wanted to do it, right? I got it done faster. Let's go. That was it.
Definitely. Yeah, man. It's crazy.
So,
yeah.
That's all I have to say.
I'm done.
I don't know if you have more to say.
I think we got our point across about the characters in general. I'm just going to name this video probably just Dragon Ball Super character breakdown. Like, we're just sitting up here breaking down the characters right now, you know?
Yeah. So, I guess, like, check out my channel or whatever. So, at Maroyasha, follow me on Twitter at Maroyasha. I run a website, which I'll give to
I'll
T-Dub
definitely
if he wants to
link
link it down below or whatever. So,
yeah, you guys make sure you go check out his channel.
So, yeah. And if you're on my channel, T-Dub will, of course, be in links and stuff. So.
But, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section down below. If you did make it to the end of this video, hashtag
I hope you did.
Hashtag Goku Black in the comment section down below. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Stay safe.